Hello and welcome to the FoF Lounge. I am your friendly neighborhood shoutcaster Shargan, and I have two very special guests joining me today for the first time ever joining us on the caster's desk. We have got the one, the only Chris Sunga, the head of FoF, right over there. And then we've also got our friend from across the pond, Lolo, who is going to be joining us. He has just recently joined the FoF family, has been doing an absolutely fantastic job on the caster's desk and has been killing it. So we're actually going to be starting off, Lolo, with a game you and I both just did the other day, which was Terracotta versus Coin Flip. So...
Yeah. It took me a moment to remember this game. It's like, oh yeah, this looks vaguely familiar, and it was really fun. I mean, I guess I was still trying to find my footing here, but it was really nice to kind of work with you on this one, man. It's nice to look back on it, to be honest, because it's like it was a bit of I don't know. I was still starting to get a feel about what the games were going to be like, and this was, I'll be honest, quite a good introduction.
Oh yeah, that was your first game, right, with us?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. What an opener. That's crazy. I was excited because Antunes is back and Shielded Valor's back. So if you guys remember those two names from way back when.
Oh yeah, I think I remember saying, like, I thought that Antunes was debuting, and because the thing was, the thing was, I got baited because your man comes into the chat and he's just he's like, guys, it's my debut, so excited. And I'm like,
oh yeah. Antunes went in our staff chat or our staff call and was like, guys, it's my debut. Oh, out of context, you had no idea. That's not on you. That's on Antunes.
That is on Antunes.
So hard, man. Man.
It's his debut for this season.
It's totally fine because we don't have always have faces attached to these names. Sometimes I had to mix them up too, so I'm
totally
that. Yeah, I get a lot of shit for
There's
it.
too many names at this point. After 4 seasons, there's 200 names that we have to memorize at this point.
Yeah, but people like to change IGNs as well, right? So,
dude, when they change it, it just makes it so much worse.
Yeah, that's the hardest.
But either way, let's just kind of hop right in here. We can just look at these final picks and bans. I really liked Terracotta's comp just from how tanky it was and how very frontlined. But when you looked over at Coin Flip, it was there was a lot of AP damage. I wasn't really sold on the Azir pick and the Kai'Sa. Those were just kind of my gut was kind of a little just because Azir is such a tricky champ to pilot, though I do think Fake Archer ended up doing pretty well on it in this game.
Yeah, it might be a comfort versus what's probably necessary. It feels weird because those champions want to do opposite things, right, in the game. That's what makes it feel weird sometimes. But I'm also a big advocate for just play your comfort champs over whatever FoF meta there is. So that might be them just figuring themselves out for right now.
Yeah,
I guess so. But I mean, I know. Obviously, I agree. Comfort is definitely going to carry you further. But first pick Azir is so so easily counterable. And I mean, I think he did a reasonably good job this game. But not to spoil anything, but this Orianna, which they did save for last, even though they didn't need to. They already knew what was going to happen. They could have stuck in straight away. But it was a perfectly fine matchup, and the Azir is super valuable, but you really need to play a comp around it, I think, to make it work the way it's supposed to. And the other thing I will add is that they didn't ban Thresh. I mean, that going back to this, I mean, if they must have known, maybe they didn't, but I'm assuming they must have known who Antunes was and how good he was on this champion, so that was a bit of a mistake as well. And...
Coin Flip is one of the newer teams, so I don't believe that they recognized Antunes, and so that's kind of
a chance.
Yeah,
but there's so much evidence, man. There's so many VODs of Antunes highlight reels throwing fresh hooks and blitzcrank hooks. There's enough evidence. They could have done it. My question is CFG's bot lane or their support, Sonaphine? The name itself screams Sona Seraphine one trick, right? And I don't know if you guys are up to date on this, but I think Sona's banned in FoF now, or disabled for FoF.
Yeah, because there's some weird interaction with the E.
Yeah, so I don't know how that affects CFG. I don't know if that affects Sonaphine because half her champion pool's gone now, I think. But we'll see.
Well, yeah.
I was gonna say, based on
that.
Yeah, on the picks that she's had so far, this series, like it's pretty much been Seraphine or Sona. Like I don't recall like anything off the top of my head that we've seen her play otherwise. That's probably just me not remembering it, but
I mean, I dig it. I like the thematics. I dig it. Yeah, let's just have one tricks.
It's just the problem is when you have one tricks, it's really easy to ban them out.
It's really easy to ban
in a competition, like it gets a little bit tricky in that sense.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I didn't know about this actually until I think I remember like coming into the chat yesterday before a cast, and Kyle was talking about like he was starting to talk about like interactions within the game and like slow procs being prioritized over like other procs and stuff like that, and I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Have I stepped into like the wrong channel? What's going on? And then I hadn't seen the what's the guy's name? It's not the guy who like exposes all the mechanics, right? Like all of all the
sure. I don't remember the name either, but yeah.
You know who I mean, like anyway, he'd done a video. I need to go watch it actually, because apparently it's like she's kind of slowing Olaf's Ragnarok down, and you're like, oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, interesting. You can actually slow that down because he's pretty much unstoppable.
Well, exactly. This is the point. So like, it's bugged. Basically, the slow from Sona is like the slow from Sona is out prioritizing Unstoppable and all other forms of like immunity to CC, and that's why it's been. Gotcha. So yeah, it's fully broken at the moment. Basically, that's why she's banned. So yeah, rough for Sona.
CFG just got nerfed, basically. CFG just got nerfed.
Yeah,
unlucky.
Super rough.
Unlucky. Yeah.
It is unfortunate. Yeah, and as we see, CFG did take a fairly early lead into this game, so they were able to like start pulling ahead TG. But I think TG ended up probably like we had a really good fight here in the mid lane against CTN getting locked down. We have them doing really, really well. But as the game progressed, I remember that TG just started winning these fights. I think it was this one around the dragon.
Yeah. There was another one around Herald, I think, later on into the game. I mean, they tried to, they put a lot of pressure onto TN early, but the Amumu doesn't, I think Maxaroni did all right this game. Like, he got, reasonably far ahead, but because he was building full tank Amumu, like, it didn't matter enough, really, like, when he was, he wasn't going to be able to carry the game, and otherwise, I thought that because there were a couple of Antunes was smurfing.
Yeah, it was the Antunes show that day.
Yeah. Antunes was definitely smurfing. There were definitely like a couple of 2v2 wins out in the bot lane, and I thought it was going to be Iron Tower that was going to carry the game, at least like for the first bit half at least. And he was chunking out the Scion. He was doing just massive amounts of damage, and then just like as the game went on, TN just started to scale, and I'm looking forward to watching back some of the stuff that happened later on in the game.
Let's see here. We had a pretty decent fight.
Yeah, TN's nuts.
It was
He's crazy. He feels like probably the strongest mid laner in Helios right now. Maybe Zen next time. I think so.
I mean, that's why I suppose I question again, like this, the first pick Azir. If Fake Archer was kind of like, okay, I've got a really strong opponent, I'm gonna like pick.
That might have been it. Good point. Yeah.
See, I mean, this is what Antunes is known for. That hook right there, like, it's catching just on the edge of the hitbox, but it was like at max range. And as he's good at hitting that kind of stuff at the, like, he just knows the limits of Thresh. And that's one of the things that makes him so scary on that champion.
Kevin loves his hook champions.
Oh my God, he really does. He really, really does. Yeah. See, that right there is one of the things that makes Azir really, really powerful. He's just able to change from such a distance.
Yeah.
That's right, we were talking about the top lane being a wet noodle fight, and I was talking about the Shen and the Scion going in on each other pretty hard.
Yeah, you were just like, oh my God, they're stabbing each other. I was like, I was with you. I was like, man, it's Duff City up there in the top lane, but no one's going down. Everyone's like, both sides have got that like guy on the corner, that like Rocky coach, be like, get up, keep going.
Right. See, and this here is the fight that I think you were talking about with around the Rift Herald, where it just had really good, great flay, great cage for Antunes in order to lock that down, and you just have Iron Tower just peppering all these shots.
You
on the
can
side.
see Tien's just like, I have no mana, guys. I really don't want to play this. Can we chill? And there's a teleport coming in. They're like, all right, guys, let's play it. Tien's like not having a good time just throwing auto attacks right now.
Yeah. At least Oriana like does get the empowered third auto.
Yeah.
So, dude, that's
Something
something
funny to watch.
Yeah.
That was where I thought it was kind of over just because of how big Iron Tower was. But like,
Yeah.
Tien kind of benefited. I mean, if you look at the scoreline now, it's just like the carries are all super far ahead, and twos is massive as well.
Right.
It was kind of, it was a big gold lead at this point, and like,
Yeah.
I mean, credit to Paul Volta. He was trying to side lane, but it wasn't really doing anything.
Really,
I
he
think he
couldn't
ended
draw
up getting the
enough
most
pressure.
damage.
Yeah,
He got the most damage this game for their team. Yeah, I remember,
Right.
just because they were slapping each other the entire game.
Exactly. You know, before we move on to the next game, one thing I do want to bring up is Terracotta. I know that they've kind of become a little bit of a meme within our league just because of the whole 1499 esports thing. I don't know if you've noticed that, Lolo. Chris knows what I'm talking about. Everyone watching knows what I'm talking about. I really think Oriri's done a good job, though, of collecting these players and getting a really solid team together. And they've been doing a really good job of just kind of like being consistent. And I think that that's one of those things that's really important here.
Yeah, right now they look like a team that can compete, right? So it's like you can't really meme them if they win in the end.
Exactly.
Then it worked out, right? So I also on top of that, probably because they're kind of getting memed for the whole 1499 thing, that's probably just that added, now that gives them added extra pressure to win these games. So maybe it helps them. Maybe it fuels their gamer fuel.
It's
gamer rage. I don't know.
Exactly. It's that whole like, you know what? Just to spite you, we're gonna do well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they look good. My biggest like takeaway is like the whole Cam Jovi, them leaving, replaced it with Tien or Riri. Seems like a solid move. So
it does. It seems like it's working out great for them. Yeah. And then we kind of jump into here again. Restless Leg Syndrome. I miss Ruby Light Up Sketchers personally, just from a name perspective.
Ruby's Light Up Slippers. Yeah,
Ruby's Light Up Slippers.
Such a good name. Such a good name.
It's such a pretty name. I liked it a lot. PTP's been doing pretty well as well. Except going into this game, you've got the anti, and there's not a set ban. There's not a set ban.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this. I wasn't really ready for what I was about to see. We saw another Scion as well. Like, Biggest Dick is just like, yeah, it's okay, guys, I've got this. I'm gonna be the carry Scion this time. Don't you worry. But yeah, he took a horrendous trade like level 1, I think, in the tri-brush on the top side.
Oh yeah, and then it was over.
It's like it was right here, like just at before level 1. And this is I think we've noticed, like if you were to compare Helios and Luna, the biggest difference is that Helios has a little bit better start. In my opinion, just because they have less teams. Just kind of see, there you go. It's like already Biggest Deacus is just like, I could back in TP, but then I'm out of TP for the next 5 minutes and I'm kind of screwed.
Oh, okay. For the way I see it, Helios, the Helios teams love limit testing level 1. They love just attempting it. Luna, everyone's like everyone 5 points because everyone's so scared. They're like, we don't want to give up any lead to the other opponent. But Helios is always limit testing. At least that's what I've seen.
Yeah,
makes
no flame.
It makes for better gameplay, to be honest, man. Like, I would rather watch like Source than than posturing for 30 minutes. You know?
Yeah. They just want to close the channel points predictions early.
Exactly. I swear, like this is the thing. Okay, so I know that with Anti, they've been banning out his Aurelia because they don't want him picking up Aurelia. And so like that makes total sense. But the set is such a powerful pick in so many ways. And just that was a great flash by Banal in order to avoid that first blood. I think this was actually one of the longer first blood games. It took like until 5 or 6 minutes, despite how much trading was going on.
Yeah, long for Helios, short for Luna.
Short for Luna.
Yeah.
Because again, limit testing versus careful strategic gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, the draft, like in this one, I mean, the main thing was Anti's set for sure, but like picking that, I remember us saying at the time that like you pointed this out, Sherigan, that like the Scion, I think it was a response pick as well. Like the Scion, it's like, why are you giving Set ammo Like, why are you allowing him to like backline dive with a meatball like with his showstopper? Like, it's insane. So like, I don't know. I still question it now, but I guess Bigger Stick has had some ideas. He probably won't try it again though.
Yeah.
And this Veigar as well was very it was ambitious. I mean, it could have worked if they'd been given time, but like. They'd seen a first pick. Yeah, there you go. There's
Yeah,
the
see,
first
this
pick.
is at this point, this is where Anti's set just like started popping off. You got that first kill,
Yeah.
excuse me, against the Kane, and then once
Yeah.
that happened, once set starts snowballing, it gets pretty gross.
Yeah.
Anti just wants a highlight reel, man. Anti just
It really
wants a
does.
highlight reel.
Although,
Oh, yeah.
I do think it's hilarious that Riot has. I think they've been watching our games and they have seen just how powerful Anti is on Dash Champions, and so they have decided to release Vex.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
And so that champion is like Anti's already sending me all these crying memes about Vex, and he's like, I don't want them to release this champion anymore. Please no.
Yeah. I don't even think it won't be out for a while. I think, right?
I think she's due like just as Worlds comes out, so it might be like the final patch before.
That's like
Worlds.
playoffs for us, I think.
It'll be our playoffs and such, so I don't know if she'll be available for grand finals, but that would be around when she would be available.
I think she looks sick, by the way.
I
Like, I'm
love it.
super
Yeah.
excited.
I love the skin too.
Oh yeah, no, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like it's the beautiful, like it's ironic. I
Yes.
love that as well. Like,
I love the juxtaposition of just the super doom and gloom and light.
Yeah. I think you've seen the moveset and whatnot as well. Like,
Yeah.
like her W is called personal space.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
so
I
good.
resonate with that so hard, man.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. It's like
Yeah.
the fact that just the W, I'm just like, okay, man, I'm playing this champion. I don't even play mid lane, but, like, I'm playing this champion.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree completely. And the fact that you can put that fear on there, just go it. Leave me alone.
It's funny.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's incredible.
But honestly, I think that's what this game needs, because there's so much mobility in all of these different champions, and like that is kind of the name of the game. You got Akshan, you got Talon, you got, like, honestly, I know they're not played a lot, but Katarina, and then you've got Zed. All of those champions. And then Callista, who's still not played in pro play very often, is now completely unplayable if there's a Vex in the game.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, and those assassins are going in the jungle, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, I hope we're all excited for that. I hope us ADC mains right here are excited to see a Zed gank into your lane at level 3.
Just Zed tears. It's like, well, my game's done.
Yep. Good stuff.
Man.
Good stuff. I had a good run.
Yeah.
Next game. GG.
So pretty much.
Anyway, going back to this, I mean,
it was such a blowout. You just
I mean, well, aside from the anti-show, I mean, War Leader had a fantastic game as well.
Yeah.
Like,
War Leader. I think War Leader was MVP of this game.
I believe.
I think if anything, this game kind of just shows where RLS is right now, or it shows where PTP is right now. Because PTP, I've said this before, just like, you know, behind the scenes or in passing, but PTP always felt weird because you could like visually see when they're not on the right page. Like when someone's going and no one has any clue of what's going on. Like you can actually visually see the miscommunication.
There's going to be angry comments in the chat below for you saying that, be like, Demon Girl was MVP. How dare you?
RLS 80%. No.
Yep.
She did have actually a really good game. We haven't really talked about the bot lane much, but like there was a really nice play up there on the top side, I think, when there was maybe like towards the end, I think, probably around the sort of, I can't remember the minute mark, but like she got caught out from the Veigar cage, and then there was like, I think, oh no, the Nami got a bubble on her, that's right, and then the Scion comes in and you're like, okay, she's down, but like no, she walked out and she came back in with the Zenith blade, got locked down. Yeah, see, like, look,
Just that play there.
Yeah.
Oh
Wow, you timed this perfectly for us to talk about Demon Girl and for her highlight play to come up.
I also,
Exactly.
as a gym main, that like I mentioned, like you get Zenith Blade, Solar Flare, like Nether Grasp. What are you supposed to do?
Nothing.
Oh my god, absolutely nothing. Anyway, back to Demon Girl. Yeah, I just wanted to vent a little bit on how.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, just like, I mean, ADC is a strong role right now. I'm not going to deny it, but just like that is
Yeah.
QSS tax like incarnated.
Just buy 4 QSSs and take cleanse.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Why
Exactly.
not?
It's like you gotta pay the Leona tax essentially.
100%. Yeah.
I
But I mean,
I agree. I think Demon Girl, like as someone with almost 1 million mastery points on Leona, I have to say that I think she is like my favorite Leona player we've seen in this league so far. It's been so much
Yeah.
fun.
No,
Yeah.
And then yeah.
And I mean, she
Arliss
really
like looks like a solid group too.
I
like
feel like
the way
they-
the way they move together, they trust each other. You can see it.
They definitely do, and
Yeah.
I feel like overall they're definitely like, I want to say top 2 at the very least. I feel like Rex is actually showing
Yeah?
to be really, really strong. Yeah, Rex is showing to be really strong, and then we honestly, I feel like COF could potentially be a good team if we got to see them play. But
CF's and Luna, but yeah.
yeah, yeah, COF's in the
Yeah. We did get to see them play. I got to see them play in person, up front.
That's
Right in
true.
front of them.
Right. Sorry. INT is the one I was thinking of. INT is the one who I think would probably be like
okay.
the contestant for the number 1
I was
spot.
gonna say, dude, this just happened yesterday, bro. You can't rub the salt.
I'm sorry. It's not my fault that COF keeps coming up as when will we get to see them play? One day.
It's okay. I understand.
No. All right. So yeah, with that, RLS
but yeah.
is super strong.
I mean,
and then we were just like we had the next game as being GURL versus Rex, and I love Gorilla Muffins. I sub for Gorilla Muffins. It's a lot of fun, but Rex is a scary team. Those Tyrannosaurus
really
guys.
is.
Still, yeah. So
Yeah. You say best in the league for this, right? I'd probably agree with you. Well, either I would say them or RLS.
Well,
maybe INT.
I think INT and RLS are stronger than Rex. I feel like Rex has got, but I think Rex is like really. I know I'm throwing a little bit of shade, but it's like I feel like Rex has been very good. It's just for whatever reason hasn't quite breached that gap.
That's fine. Sure. I think they've we haven't gotten to see them recently because I think this was the one game they did play up this week, and then the next one was a forfeit, I think. So we didn't get a big sample size last week.
Right.
I definitely didn't see this game. I think it was about 3 a.m. or like later by the time
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the timing for this one just wasn't quite there.
time this went on.
So let's see.
I was
Yeah.
So
It's like 3 a.m. for you when this game happened.
yeah.
Well, one thing I think Rex has.
I'm excited now because
Yeah, I was gonna say one thing I think Rex has that's a major advantage over a lot of these other teams, and one of the things that they've been using to great effect is I feel like their macro play is way stronger in terms of the micro across the board. Like I feel like they've done a really good job of controlling the map. They've done a really good job of like anticipating where to go and like how to control these games. And I feel like that has a lot to do with the fact that they're casting for a lot of these academy games, so they see these pro level plays coming out. Neko was I like Neko on the Annie pick. I think that was a really good safe pick for her.
I mean, REX is performing how like I think everyone expected, where like you know up front we know that there are people that don't get a lot of time to practice or play the game a lot, so we're not expecting their mechanics to be as great as everyone else's. But their macro game, you can tell like every game they know what to do. Like there's an order of operations and they're following the order of operations each time. So that's why Rex is winning so much. That's why Rex is first place right now. And I bet if anything, Rex proves macro over micro any day.
I think INT is definitely like I've been really liking a lot of their performance, and I feel like that's going to be some of the scary stuff we see later on in this league. Let me see here. What's it? Yeah, like this tower
these are
dive.
probably like
these
are probably the 2 strongest teams in the league right now, right? I mean, I remember reading the power rankings prior to this day of games, and we were quite. I think that it was going to be a bit more into question like what was going to happen here, although.
See, I love Joshi almost getting out of that. Like it was so close.
Wow, they went deep. Holy moly.
Okay. Tower dives. Their dives might need a little bit of work, but other than that, they're clean.
They're clean. It's a shame. He didn't have the. If he had the Narbar there, he'd be fine.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was still worth, I guess. Like, they're getting Zen ahead, right? So.
Yeah. Oh, and this was the game where Alf battery, his power went out, which makes me laugh saying that sentence. Like Alf battery's power went out, but Mr. Chunks ended up subbing in for him.
Oh, is that what happened? That's why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Chunks.
Yeah.
He's in.
Is this another Helios player or?
It's like a sub for Rex.
He's a sub for Rex.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. It's
So,
just Rex's sub again.
Check out Why You Know Doctor on Thresh. I feel like that this is another perma-ban champ you got to do. Look at that flay. Like he anticipated the Tristana jump and pulls it out at the perfect time in order to prevent it from actually working.
Yeah,
it's just
classic Thresh play.
It's so good.
Yeah,
it's so satisfying watching like that, like the rocket jump getting like.
Anything that's half on stove for not delaying the rocket jump, but he really had no choice. I think he was dead regardless. But yeah, Why You Know Doctor is like just looking at his OPGG, right? You should ban Thresh.
Yeah,
just look at his OPGG.
I'm trying to think. I think out of most of the games he's played, he's managed to pick up Thresh or some other hook champ. So he's kind of like
they kind of just let it go.
Yeah,
it's weird banning Thresh because Thresh doesn't feel like one of those champions that can 1v9, but then you give it to Why You Know Doctor and then
it's
then you question or Antunes and then you question everything about what I just said.
I mean, he's always value though. That's the thing. Like I'm never gonna. On the flip side, I'm never gonna question a Thresh ban, right? It's like, look, we just don't want to have to deal with the amount of like playmaking and skill that this stupid champion has.
Yeah,
and it's just
like I do want to point out, like if we look at the objectives right now, it's 0, 4, and 2 Drakes.
Yeah.
So it's like that's what I mean about Rex's macro play. They know how to make plays across the map and how to force fights where they need to force fights. Even if sometimes their dives might be a little suspect, they've got the objectives they need down in order to really kind of just pull it out.
It's 9K at 17 minutes in it. It's like it's doomed.
Yeah. I feel like GURL did manage to pick up a Drake, but it just progressively kind of descends. So I think that's pretty much a good spot to skip over to day 2.
Yeah, I mean, final thoughts for that game is it's really hard to play against a team that really knows how to end a game when you have a lead, and know the exact order of operations to make that happen.
Could you repeat that for me one more time? Audio
play from behind, you're kind of just screwed against Rex. I'm sorry, what?
Audio cut out on my end.
My audio cut out.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Discord lag.
Do I just restart my sentence or?
What was your final thoughts on that about the whole Rex versus their?
Oh, final thoughts. Rex is dope. Okay, moving on.
Nice.
Yeah. Good way to wrap it.
In short, Rex is dope. I was gonna say something for 10 minutes straight if he didn't stop me.
I had a feeling.
What? So we had there was an FF game on, right? So it's like
I think so.
Yeah, this is one of the ones where I ended up playing as Xin Zhao, and I think talking about.
Okay, Iron Tower's really been enjoying this Caitlyn, huh?
He has.
Oh.
So. Go right ahead.
Well, no, I was gonna say. I mean, I to be honest, I'd rather you talk Sharigan because you were in this game.
You were in this one.
Yeah. Going into this, the objective for us was I wanted to play more aggressive because I felt like the Sejuani pick was not. I felt like I was getting out jungled, and so I wanted to play something a little bit more intense. We were going for the dive here at the level 5 or level 1 as the 5-man in top lane. I feel like we controlled Fog of War decently, and we did okay here. The problem is we were going into a Shen who could just run away.
Yeah, I don't know about the 5-man into the Shen level 1. I mean, okay, he's leveled his Q, so it's not as if he's going to be able to E away immediately, but.
Right.
He's chilling. He's still chilling.
Yeah.
He's still chilling. Yeah, there you go. There's the flash.
On Thresh goes wide in the opposite direction. He anticipated the flash the wrong way, which is honestly good on him for anticipating the flash, but not quite being able to get over there. Yeah, so it didn't work out quite as well as we wanted to, right off the bat. And then just kind of going into this, again, I just wanted to be more aggressive, so I was looking for ganks, but it ended up being all of our lanes. We're losing, and it was really hard to gank any of these.
Yeah, we were talking about this just before coming on, right? It's just there's not much that you can do in all honesty if you've got 3 losing lanes. Like, especially when, I mean, you should, I suppose, win the 1v1 against an Ivern. But like, it's never going to be a 1v1. Let's be honest. It's never going to be a 1v1, man.
It's not going to be a 1v1, but when the Ivern is in the complete opposite part of your map and he's taking all of your camps, like right here, he's already taken my Raptors. Just with the thing that I don't like about Iverns, and I hate jungling against Iverns, how quickly they can clear those jungles.
We
with
hate
their
you too.
passive.
Stay in the forest. We don't like you.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like during these team fights, there was some really well placed bushes and roots that were just devastating to us. I mean, if you look at this, at 10 minutes in, we're already 0-6. I was 2 of those deaths. I know Veigar was 2 of those. Really not a lot, but the Caitlyn.
Oh.
So that right there, if I had ulted, I would have survived, which would have been the smart play. But nerves got to me on this one.
Okay, man. It's okay. Once you've played a couple FoF games, once you played a couple seasons, you get used to the nerves.
Yep, I'm getting a little stronger, but
yeah. You just need more screen time.
A little bit.
It's hard. It's so hard to play on the stream, because I don't know. Especially if you like tell your friends that you're watching, and if you have really like toxic friends, like your boy, like they will flame you.
Yeah.
If you miss one ever,
Yep.
it's sad. It's sad.
And on top of that, because you're a caster as well, you're like,
yeah.
I feel like I gotta perform.
You have a very
It's
good idea of what someone's saying about you, right? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, damn, I'm probably getting blown up from the casters right now as well. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one game. It's like
no.
I've been meaning to. I haven't like watched the caster side of it. I've watched the VOD review, but it's kind of like, I really should see what the casters are saying just so get some more insight on it. It was really unfortunate. Shielded Valor on Shen was just, it was scary. Like
I feel like
Shielded Valor is a
banning
big
this.
addition. Yeah, 100%. I mean, Shen I think is a solid ban in Friend or Foe in general, just because how much global pressure it has. And if you have a good coordinated team that can play a Shen, then it's real hard.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So overall,
that is the takeaway then.
Yeah, that is the takeaway there. And I do think, again, TG doing a really good job of showcasing just why they're such a strong team. That was definitely one of those ones where, like, going into it, we were pretty nervous. But overall, could have gone better. I'm not happy with my personal performance on that one, so I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
Well, it happens.
Yeah, and you know, we learn from it. We learn from those, right?
Yeah.
So
Exactly. And then with this, we actually finally come to the INT versus Restless Leg Syndrome game. This was the one where I believe I was in support of INT, but if I remember correctly, RLS actually pulled out the win on this one.
Yeah, a lot of people lost channel points.
Yeah.
this is I'm sad I missed this actually, because this is like
This is a crazy
good
game.
Yeah, it's super competitive as well, right? Because we watched these games just a moment ago, like Team just a moment ago, saying like how good both of them are, like at the moment, they're looking really nice. So like, although they did give Anti a really.
They did. They let him pick Aurelia this game. And I think that was kind of one of those points where like he was really happy to take it and he was really excited to actually be hopping onto it.
Of course.
So again, Demon Girl on Rakan doing a really good job of peeling, and I think that was one of the things that ended up helping him out a lot towards the later part of the game. And again, it's just the Trundle pick I know was the response for Aurelia. Like they were expecting it.
Right, yeah. But like, it's obviously, I don't know how I feel about it in the top lane, man. Like it can win out in 1v1s, but it's like, it just doesn't have the same value that it has as a jungler, because as a solo lane you're expected to take resources and be value, and it's like it works so well just as utility when it really doesn't need too many resources attached to it. So it's like you're kind of sacrificing a bigger threat in the top lane where you could just put in jungle and he'd have pretty much like the same. I mean, you can spread push, sure, but it's like, I don't know.
That's a little rough. Also, I want to touch on the fiddle factor here, because that's very rare in Friend or Foe Fiddlesticks. But anybody who has played solo queue with a Fiddlesticks in the game knows, like, if Fiddle's on the opposite side, it's like you're in alert mode, right? Like, where's the Fiddlesticks?
Yep.
Ward over the walls, right? And in FoF, that's like you amplify that times 10, and especially because you can work with your teammates, that literally the game for RLS here is like literally just watch for Fiddlesticks and you guys win. And it's over.
Yeah.
And RLS was like on top of that the whole game.
They
if I
were,
remember correctly.
other than that TP that we just saw.
Yeah.
Other than anti-CP, which whatever.
Yeah.
That was unlucky. I think it was a little bit greedy to stop the wave from getting back towards his tower. So
yeah, I mean, Fiddle is like super strong. You know, if you can build a comp around him that kind of works. I mean, he does. But like, if you have really, as you said, if you have really good vision as well, and Demon Girl's vision scores have been pretty good, like across the board, right? She's done a really good job of supporting her team in that regard, and it's like that mitigates so much of the obviously if you get a beautiful like 5-man ult, then great, like it's game changing. But
Yeah.
Rakan as well, like it's a very good pick in order to just stop that because of the like immediate CC. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not surprised that it didn't really have the the impact it was supposed to this game, but
Yeah.
never mind.
yeah, so this right here is like they just gotten Drake. I think it's first blood doesn't happen until like 11 and a half minutes in this one. These teams were like, there were so many like escapes, so much good use of the different summoner spells and stuff. It was kind of like the fact that it finally happened was kind of like, whoa.
Yeah. And you can tell that that's INT saying like, okay, finally, like, okay, we got what we needed, right? We were able to pull off the one trick that we need to be able to pull off in this comp. And RLS, like that's the trigger for RLS. They suddenly see that and they're like, okay, nope, never happening again. Everyone call out where Fiddle is the whole game.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
100%.
And I mean, just look at Anti on that Aurelia. He almost managed to pull out the 1v1 versus the Trundle, but that chomp is just so nasty.
Yeah, the Charm, obviously the attack speed from the frozen domain. He had the Bramble Vest as well, very sensible. So obviously, like the sustain was being mitigated. Like Trundle's really good in 1v1s. Don't get me wrong. Like that's something that is kind of under that. As I said, I still think that like he's way better as like a jungle or even a support right now. But like you shouldn't sleep on him. Like if you're trying to 1v1 him when he's got all of his resources up, because you probably lose. Right?
Yeah, no, the
especially when he's got
so
Subjugate on top of it as well. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Oh,
this
wow,
This is a fantastic ult from Evolved Noob, cutting off like 3 members from RLS from joining that fight. Yeah. This is where I thought INT like had the game, as long as Evolved Noob like kept playing like that. But the game was like mad close.
Yeah, no, it was really close. And then it's really impressive to see RLS able to come back from that, because like it was like they were down for the very beginning portion of the game, but then they just allowed themselves to scale because you've already got the Senna, you got the Aurelia.
It's a dragon fight, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where it was. I think it was.
okay. So wait. So RLS went for a play around Baron, or
No, it was this. I think it was this
I think
dragon.
it was
fight
oh
right
no, it was
here.
a Drake. It was a
Yeah,
Drake.
Yeah. I think I remember. I can't remember exactly
So
what
yeah, you had
happened.
Fiddlesticks jump over the
yeah,
wall to go in there, and it's like he just gets locked down. So while Blue does manage to steal
Oh,
the
yeah,
Drake,
yeah.
Senna gets that snipe off over the wall, and the Emperor Divide. It's like
Yeah.
the way this whole
Okay,
thing
this wasn't the
played
fight
out.
I was thinking of, but this was War Leader and Demon Girl like doing their absolute best to just keep that fight going. So props to them for letting that happen, because Evolved Noob hit an Azir ult that was a little sus, but War Leader was able to like just walk around it, and Demon Girl was able to extend that fight even longer.
If you look back, Bow Exploder doesn't have Crowstorm. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's seconds away from. If he had Crowstorm there, it's a different fight entirely. Like,
Absolutely.
a beautiful Crowstorm angle right there. It's just
He goes for steal though.
Yep.
Good attempt at the steal though. Gets the.
Does actually manage to pick it up, and with an Infernal Soul, like that was something that INT needed.
Yeah.
It is, but I guess maybe they should have just tried to hang back and just let him go for it. Get it or not. I mean, he burns his flash as well. Like
Let the steal happen and just.
Maybe just go and like try to set like just build pressure mid, like top lane. Try to set up vision around Baron, all that good stuff, and just like try to cross map basically like this. I don't know. Instead, they just get millions of like picks now because everyone's overextended. And
But
that dragon fight alone keeps this game at like an even spot, which means.
and it allows
next
them to
fight
get
win.
that pick, which is so crucial because it gets them the shutdown goal.
And these are the types of games that usually start happening towards the end of the regular season. We noticed this happen like every season, where it's always like there's no more like random fights happening in jungle anymore. It's straight up always 5v5s and max 4 team fights happen and then the game's over. So it's cool seeing that INT and RLS are like at that level where they're playing at such an even game, if that makes sense.
It does. Yeah, so that right there, this is why Anti is so scary.
Yeah.
So, because he's gonna like basically just completely negate the divide.
Yeah, he's got flash advantage as well.
Yeah.
Evolved noob didn't have flash. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that was oof. Like that going golden is always so scary sometimes when you're in a solo lane because you're like, did I actually save myself or did I just delay my death?
Yeah.
Oh
no. Usually it's like buying time.
I mean, he had no flash. Like it was a great Empress divide, but it's like he was dead there either way. To be honest, like he probably could have saved it, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think this was the dragon fight you were referring to.
Yeah. Let's see it. Oh my god, let's see this. I remember Twitch chat went nuts during this fight because everyone was like, what just happened? Yeah. I can't remember. This fight was just crazy. Like I think everything for RLS just landed perfectly at the right time, layered, stacked elegantly.
Oh, the Crow Storm angle.
He does
Hold
have
on.
it.
Oh my, there you go. Oh, he only got fear on one. No.
And that shield on everyone from the Senna, just so devastating.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker right there.
Yeah. I remember, I think I was in the green room yelling at Chris, like, replay that right now.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, no, he got a bunch of fears. Yeah, you're right. Like that, like the Dawning Shadow, I think it's called, whatever. Like it just gave him everything right there, and they had no. And then Anti's got sustain. Wally just got sustain.
This is just where the scaling that's on RLS just kind of started to pressure INT, and it looked like it was gonna go really well for them, but it just results in the Baron. And I think this Baron push, it's not what ends up finishing the game.
Is Demon Go getting get picked? No, they don't. Okay.
But basically from here, I mean, the gold lead skyrockets to 7K. It becomes RLS's game.
And the Trundle's trying desperately to split push.
And is doing a pretty good job of it, but Aurelia's just, at this point, way too strong.
Yeah, no, this is... No, sir. No dice.
Yeah, which
allows Baron minions as well, so.
And Anti has the TP available, so they're just waiting right now at this point, clearing out that top wave to just kind of shove it out a little bit. Yeah. And they end up coming down here, and it's now a 5v4, so they're just able to push in for the end. I think this is one of the reasons why...
While Brock Lee was up there... Yeah, while Brock Lee was up there and Anti went back to stop him, there could have been a desperate call from INT to just force the 4v4, because that might have been winnable with Aurelia not there if they had like synced up those two fights at the same time. Yeah, but I mean, who's to say? Yeah, it might have still been lost.
Your man didn't have Emperor's Divide up, did he? From the look of it, it's a long
no, it's not quite up. I think it had a couple more seconds before that fight.
Yeah. I think if he'd had Emperor's Divide up, then he could have gone for a shuffle. Yeah, that could have been something. But there you go, there it is. But like, it doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, it doesn't matter. You knock out the Nexus turret, so it's not able to do anything, and it goes down before it has a chance.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is when it's so like Fiddle feels so useless because it's like you're never gonna get there's no Crow Storm angle there. Yeah. Your base is Power minions, so it's like sure you can engage, maybe you can stopwatch or something, but like you're not really. It just doesn't have the same impact, right? So like,
and then
that was RLS playing against Fiddlesticks really well. I don't think INT can play Fiddlesticks, but that was RLS playing against Fiddlesticks really well.
Yeah, playing against Fiddlesticks really well. And then I think that's actually one of the reasons why INT and RLS are kind of like my top two, because I feel like that was probably one of the most intense macro games we've seen in a while. And it was just really well done.
It was a nail biter for sure.
Yep, and then the last game that we had right here, this was the staff game that we had of PTP versus FoF. Where right now,
let's go.
We were 4-20 right there.
I don't remember this one.
This one, I wasn't in this one. This one, I think I actually ended up shoutcasting. I like the.
Oh, let's not see that. Jeff and Utility failed me in this game, actually. We don't need to see. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, it's like,
wait, I don't know. So is Whirl or a Mordekaiser enjoyer?
I believe
so.
they are.
I think he was playing Jinx.
Let me see if we hop into this. So it was Whirler was the Jinx this
Willow,
game.
Willow's
So
the
Willow was the Mordekaiser
Yeah.
enjoyer in this.
My man. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a fun game.
Title?
I think the context for this game was PTP wanted to test out like a new roster or something like that. So they had to forfeit their game because I don't know, something about eligibility. My point is they wanted to like try out their roster and then arrange the staff match.
Yeah, because they ended up having
utility monster without any.
Yeah,
Oh god, Cled.
really putting the Lee in utility.
Yep.
And I was watching.
That was a terrible joke.
I was casting a game. Oh, we've got the Amumu support, man. You love to
Yep.
see
The
it.
movement support. in
I
this
was,
one.
I was casting a game earlier with like a Cled support,
Yeah.
and like it was just unkillable, man. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
what are you supposed
Yeah,
to do? The champ can just dive turrets for free. It's like.
I had that once in my solo queue game. It's nice.
I was
Oh my
seeing Utility Monster
Oh my
get
God.
taken out by Blue Buff. I was kind of like, wait, what?
Man had smite. He had smite. What are you doing?
I love you, Josh.
I'm not sure.
God.
Yeah.
Okay,
Me speaking my own praise to myself.
It doesn't. Like for FoF, like last night we saw him like running it down against FoF on freaking like Blitzcrank or something. It's like my man runs it down and stuff games one way or another, doesn't he? Like,
Yeah.
good man. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Either way, this was a fun one. It was like a 12-16 at this point in the game. Whirler was doing really well on
It
Jinx.
was a fun game.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was good seeing it. Honestly, I like getting the chance to play because it's such a rare thing in like the actual league. So it's more now.
Yeah.
I remember Whirler, like before the staff match happened, I was talking to him. He's like, "Oh my god, I get to play in a staff match, guys! I never get to play." He was so excited, and then he saw the roster and he was like, "Oh my god, I get to play with the UB guys! This is gonna be so much fun!" And then when he exits when he comes back into our green room call, he's like, "Yo, my team just griefed me so hard." I feel so bad for Whirler.
Oh, Cled is so broken, man.
He's so strong. Cled is so strong. So with that, let's just kind of hop into these predictions real quick.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So tomorrow's games. Let's see here. First set of games is gonna be PTP versus INT. Like just looking at these right now, wasn't there something up with AGS at the moment? I don't know if we've made an official note.
Oh yeah, AGS is it's out. Yeah, AGS is gonna be replaced by the reserve team, STC, which is my team.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. We're gonna see STC solo.
Yeah. So all the AGS games from here on out are STC games. I'll change it.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Well then, my
Yeah.
prediction is 100% for you, Chris.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
I think
Let's go.
I think going up against Terracotta, that's actually going to be a pretty good like litmus test for y'all's team.
Dude, 8-6 the dream. 8-6 the dream. Dude.
8-6 the dream, but that means that you have to face off against.
06.
Yeah, you have to start against Rex the day after.
Oh my god.
Joshi, you ain't shit.
Yeah, tell him. Go.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No. Lay on.
Either way,
No,
so
no,
it's
no,
like
no.
honestly, the games that I'm most excited for are gonna be the PTP versus GURL game because I think that's actually gonna be a decent matchup, and then I am looking forward to seeing STC come out, and then the RLS versus TG. I think that's gonna be a good litmus test again to see does TG have the ability to climb these rankings, because I put them personally as like the fourth best team at the moment, like just because they're having trouble breaking that barrier. Just like Rex has their own barrier that they have to break through, but I feel like theirs is a little bit easier. Theirs is more of a glass ceiling that they're like on a step ladder right underneath with a hammer. So it's like we're gonna see Rex pop off, I think, as this rest of the season progresses.
What
Well, hopefully not against me.
Yeah, hopefully not against you. Yeah. No, you got them. Yeah.
Yeah.
You heard him, Joshi. You heard him. Right? What do you guys think is going to be like the most? Because I agree. I think like those are definitely going to be the most like interesting games on each day. But actually, it's mostly going to be on Friday, isn't it? But like oh great, I get to cast that PTP Girl game. I'm excited. Let's go.
Hype. The PTP Girl one has some. As far as I understand, it has some drama to it. So.
Oh really?
Fun one.
Oh,
yeah. There's some stakes on the line. I think.
Ooh.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
All right. I'll bear that in mind. But apart from that, I mean, most of the rest of these, like PTP INT, favors INT, and like RLS Girl definitely favors etc. Who do you think's most likely to make an upset out of all of these games?
STC.
Because they're untested. Honestly, I'd say coin flip. I'd say coin flip is the one who has the
coin flip.
100%. Coin flip 100%. Because I don't know if it's a calm or if it's a unfamiliarity with playing with each other. I don't think it's that, but I really feel like Coin Flip Gaming has some really strong elements to their team that just there's like that. How do you describe it? It's like you can always like see the potential that's in a team, but it's just
they
like for whatever reason.
Moments. They have moments for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's now just going to be a test if they can play with the big boys.
Yeah.
You think
playing with the big boys now?
Yeah.
But
you think INT more likely? Do you think they're more likely to upset INT than Rex probably?
I'd say I don't think we're gonna see them pop off this set of games. If they beat either of these two teams, I will be like, I don't want to say like be very surprised in the sense of like I don't think that they're strong, but those are two teams that are going to be very tough to beat just in general. Like I really feel like anytime a team is facing Rex or INT or RLS, you know that it's going to be a tough game that you have to plan accordingly. You have to know what you're getting into.
Yeah, I mean, someone's losing their house on channel points if they win either of those games.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it's more likely to happen against INT than Rex.
I wouldn't
be able to explain my reasoning.
I feel like INT's not as Rex is consistent. Like I'm gonna keep saying, like they are consistently like what they are. Like they're just able to execute their plays. While their micro might not be the best, their macro is pretty strong. But it's like their micro is still just as good from game number 1 as it was in game number 6. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like over the course of time that they just tend to be like they know how to play and know how to keep an even rhythm. INT is very much a drag racer, where it's like they start off at 0, hit 100, and then hit 0.
Right. Right. So there's a possibility for like some late game shenanigans to happen if CMG hold their cool and like something could happen. Yeah. Where it's like
exactly.
Right. Okay.
With that's all I've got for today. So I think we're good to go. Chris Sunga, thank you so much. Lolo, thank you for dropping by. I know it's kind of late over there. With that, we're going to go ahead and close it out. I want to say thank you to our sponsors, Adobe Creative Cloud and Logitech Gaming. Greatly appreciate your support. And to everyone else, remember to tune in Thursday, September 9th for the Helios games. And it will be very, very exciting. We've got some exciting matchups coming up. So be there.
STC.